So just continuing on what we were speaking about, how we were making a tie between zakah and spreading knowledge, right? So what zakah does for wealth, what sadaqah does for wealth, and what knowledge, what teaching does for knowledge. We were making comparisons between that. There's actually a very interesting saying by Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anh, where he says that knowledge is more valuable than wealth, because wealth, when you give it away, you lose it, but knowledge, when you give it away, you increase in it. Is that the saying? Scroll up. Knowledge is better than wealth, because wealth, when you give it leaves you, but knowledge, when you give it away, you become better at it. Oh, that was well said. Okay. There's another really interesting point said by our teacher. One of his teachers said that if there was a man who went to a hidden village and he found a secret sheikh there, and he walked away with this knowledge, this sacred knowledge, and he began to spread it to people, if the people questioned him on where he got that knowledge from, he would have to reveal to them where he got it from, because that would also count as concealing. Therefore, the punishment of the fire of whip and being dragged into Jahannam would also apply to this individual who conceals the things attached to knowledge, such as the sources. So it's very critical to understand the importance of knowledge and the metaphysical realities of knowledge, just like wealth. And another important aspect of knowledge is the environment in which knowledge is taught. There's a beautiful reality of that many people are not aware of.
Yeah. So there's a hadith on the environment of knowledge where it says, no people gather in a masjid to teach and learn from one another the Quran or study mutually, except that angels descend upon them and tranquility envelops them, and Allah's rahmah envelops them, and upon them descends tranquility of Allah, and Allah mentions them with those who are near, meaning the angels, and no one travels the path of knowledge except that Allah makes easy the path of Jannah for them. So there's a couple things that are confusing about this hadith. First of all, the part where says, the part where it says, and no one travels the path of knowledge except that Allah makes easy the path of Jannah for them. There's a lot of confusion to that, as people question how does traveling the path of knowledge make Jannah easier, right?
Yeah, isn't it that don't we think that the people who have knowledge are going to be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And we know of another hadith that says those who are closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be tested with more difficulty. Right? Doesn't that kind of contradict here?
Yeah. Yes. Does it contradict?
Yeah, it totally does. Because their lives are going to be made more difficult, yet the path to Jannah has been made easier for them.
Okay. Yeah, but when it's saying that the path of Jannah is made easier for them through knowledge, it's because you have that knowledge to even walk that path to Jannah, right? You know the difference between right and wrong.
Exactly. So the issues can be more difficult, but you have the knowledge and the tools and the ability to decipher what to do, right?
Yeah.
It's like any skill that you learn. In the beginning, it generally tends to be more difficult than as you progress through, right? Even though the weights can become heavier, even though the challenges can become heavier, you're more experienced in it, so you know how to traverse it.
Yep.
Right? That's the idea, that we're learning the fundamental knowledge in order to traverse the difficulties of life.
Yep.
We're not getting broken down at every single thing that comes our way. There's another hadith of the Prophet ﷺ in Tirmidhi where he says, those who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and remain close to him, He's going to line up all of their affairs. that all of our issues, no matter what the difficulty is, even if it's more and more difficulty, they're going to be lined up in front of us and we're going to know how to address them. But as for the person who's far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and chooses not to remember him, then Allah is going to scatter his affairs. They're going to be all over the place. You're going to have to go here, go there, go there, go there, go there, and another problem's going to keep popping up over and over and over and over and over again, and you won't even know how to solve it.
Yeah.
Right? So the idea is that as we learn knowledge, the path to Jannah becomes easier because we know how to deal with these issues, even though they're becoming more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as we have the tools
Yeah.
to deal with issues.
Because if you don't know how to solve something, then even the simplest thing is the most difficult thing.
Yep. Yep. And another thing that we get out of this hadith is that we need to really believe that when we're studying knowledge, especially sacred knowledge, that there's really angels that are gathering around us, and that and that Allah's tranquility actually descends upon us.
Yeah. What he's saying here is that, look, if you're sleeping at 5 a.m. in the morning and you have the opportunity to go out and learn knowledge, are you going to stay in your bed and sleep, or are you going to go to class and be in the company of angels in a blessed gathering? If you truly believe that, then how could you ever choose sleep over a place where Allah's rahmah is being descended? Where the purest beings are your companions. That's that or sleep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
I don't know that.
okay.
You can check the actual notes.